This is another knockoff. I know, don't worry. I also have official and third-party figures too, but the last two videos have been knockoffs. And this gives me an opportunity to touch on something, but I will do that in a little bit. For now, the toy. Nemesis looks really cool, and this mold just works in these colors. This is the Studio Series Bumblebee movie Optimus, and I've never messed with this mold before, so I didn't know what to expect when I got it, and I was pleasantly surprised with this thing. So Hasbro did an amazing job with this mold. Yes, there are some issues like the kibble under the arms, but at Voyager price point, what do you expect? They have to deal with a lot more than the KO and third-party designers when it comes to making figures, so I understand it, and that's something I wanted to touch on. So I'm just going to go on a tangent real quick, and then I'll get back onto the figure, but it's quick, don't worry. I know a lot of people complain, and I have as well, about third-party and KO companies making better figures than Hasbro. And yes, a lot of their figures are better than the official. But something that people like Andrew Sorahan, for example, and learning through my business diploma in marketing and just business structure in general, have taught me is that Hasbro has to conform to a lot more rules and regulations than someone like X-Transbots, for example. Hasbro has to design the figures within a set timeline every year. They have to make sure it follows every country's safety laws that it's being released into. It has to survive things such as drop tests with certain levels of success. They have to fit within certain budgets per figure. They have to pay for the marketing. They have to pay for the distribution costs that come with that. They also have to make sure that it is done on time. So they have time limits for when they make these things. A company like X-Transbots, for example, doesn't have to follow nearly any of those, but the distribution and the market, maybe the marketing thing. But they don't distribute to as many places as Hasbro. Hasbro does mass market. They do private sellers, private resellers such as Big Bad Toy Store, Toy TF Source, ages 3 and up, so on and so forth. And they don't have to survive drop tests or follow specific budgets. So I want people to keep that in mind more. English is hard when it comes to comparing Hasbro and third-party figures, because they are for two separate markets. Super duper high-end collectors versus like mainline collectors. Now, when it comes to knockoffs, KOs are sometimes better than the official versions. Take Leader Class Brawl. However, again, they don't have to follow the rules and laws of Hasbro. And they get to learn from Hasbro's mistakes initially. They get to understand the feedback Hasbro gets and apply that to their figures. So if Hasbro makes a figure and the legs like to fall apart, the KO company comes around a year later and makes the same toy but fixes the issues. Yeah, it's better, but it's because they were able to learn from that feedback that Hasbro would have gotten to make theirs better. So just keep that in mind. I know this is going to start a discussion in the comments. This is just how business works most of the time, how manufacturing for mass market retail works. So that's just how it is. I know sometimes it sucks, but if you start to have debates in the comments, please make sure you are being nice to each other. That's all I ask. And sorry about that. Now on to the figure. I love this figure. The amount of detail Hasbro put into this mold is really well done. You don't get lost looking at it. It's super fun. The legs are probably the coolest part in my opinion. They transform super cleanly and look really, really good for a Voyager. This KO paint job does bring out those details a little bit more and makes it look extra great. There's also a shattered glass version of this, which I have not ordered yet, but I kind of want to. I also hope that they do a white version for like Ultra Magnus, a white and blue. That'd be nice. The window panels are die-cast, so the things surrounding the windows, those are die-cast, which is nice, but also makes him feel a little top-heavy. It would have been nice if his feet were die-cast as well, just to balance that out a bit. He looks great, pretty much next to anything, in my opinion. I love the way the design just fits into almost any sort of modern line. It's really nice. He is proper Voyager size, and that's good, and the colors of this KO just elevate that presence and make him stand out. Not stand out too much, but stand out enough for you to look at him and go, ooh, that looks nice. Posing is really good. This is a KO, so it has some loose parts, but overall it's not bad. The elbows and hips are loose on mine. This original mold's posing, though, is quite nice, and there are some panels that bump into each other, which makes posing a little bit of a chore sometimes, but overall, it's not that bad. It's super fun and enjoyable to put into, like, different poses and reenact scenes from the film. It's really nice. Transformation is cool, because it's the G1 Prime transformation. But the arms and legs do the same thing and everything else is just different. I love how they're able to make that fusion work and work well. It's really nice. It surprised me very much how this thing actually transforms like the G1 figure with extra steps. Kind of like how Earthrise Prime is with extra steps. It's really cool. Truck mode is amazing looking. I love how this looks. Something, however, on this KO that isn't great are my middle wheels never want to touch the ground. I think there's some mold flash somewhere or a tab I need to shave down. I just haven't found it yet because I haven't cared that much. But it's my only issue with the truck mode. It looks amazing otherwise. The colors, again, work really well on this, but Hasbro did an awesome job making this truck look so nice. The shaping is really good. I love how square the front is. To me, it's just a better truck mode than Invasion Mode Prime, than Earthrise Prime. It's super nice. The back is a bit gappy. I will give you that. But all the movie Primes that turn into a truck like this have had some sort of gap issue because just the designs are all very complex to try and fit into a Voyager scale. So I can understand the gap at the back. There is a trailer hitch, so you can store the gun at the back as well if you want. You can. I don't know if this can peg in Earthrise and Siege Prime's trailer because I don't have them, unfortunately. But there is a port there, so it might work. I don't know. But in the end, this is a really, really good figure. And for $15, the flaws are super worth it. I'll put some non-sponsored links in the description for the 3 different versions of this on Surtoys. You can also pick up the Nemesis on Amazon, I believe, but I'll just leave the Surtoys links below. And if you're wondering how trustworthy they are, they're pretty good. They'd be pretty good to me. They're still trying to get me a replacement for my Transform Element OP Leader. So that's really cool. I like how they're trying that. But yeah, I'll leave those links in the description if you want to pick one up. It is $15, or at least it was when I got it. So that's pretty good value for money right there. But that's been my look at the knockoff Nemesis Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.